your why cannot be money. When you see my life, you see it as, I want to know that God. Growing up, I really wanted to be a news anchor.
Has it been risky for you to maybe introduce faith into what you do?
It's definitely hard, easier said than done. I have lost brands. Even with Jesus, no one teaches you how to be an entrepreneur.
Do you think becoming a Christian and giving your life to Jesus has become trendy? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. Welcome to Beyond the Brand, Moments That Made Us, with me, Hannah G. Now, this is a space where we speak to amazing people doing amazing things and building amazing and fantastic brands. Now, on this show, we do not only focus on how beautiful their brands are. We don't only talk about the money they make and the influence they have. We go a little deeper and we talk about the battles, the struggles, the late nights, the early mornings, the strategic decisions that have to be made over and over again. What we do, we talk about the things underneath the iceberg as well. On the show today, I have the amazing Sharon K Mwangi, who has built an amazing brand, and you will see how she is an entrepreneur and she is a digital content creator. Let's get into this conversation, Sharon. But before we do that, I would like to serve you some either tea or water or whatever is in this pot.
It's just water.
Is that good? Just water.
Yeah,
Okay, let's
thank
do
you
water
so much.
then. You are welcome. So Sharon, I did introduce you, but very briefly. Okay. Is there anything that I didn't say about you that you would like for the audience to know?
Yes, I do also have a podcast as well. So that's the third brand that I have built. So I've built Sharon K Mwangi as a brand, and then there's Epiphany clothing, which I'm wearing today. That's my fashion brand, and then now I have Best Kept Secrets podcast, which is another brand, and that's our podcast. So yeah, that's another thing that I do. Yeah.
Thank you and welcome to Beyond the Brand.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Me too. So we are going to talk about Best Kept Secret. We're also going to talk about your clothing line.
Yeah.
But before we do that, I want to talk about your content creation journey. And maybe the question I want to ask is, where did it all begin?
Yeah.
What's the backstory? And when did you know that you had a voice when it came to the digital space in Kenya?
So what happened is that growing up, I really wanted to be a news anchor. I really wanted to be on TV. So I have memories of me being around 8 or 9 years old, and I would sit in front of a mirror and practice reading the news with a newspaper. And I'm reading and I'm just, because I used to watch news a lot with my parents. So just trying to articulate my words and say it the way they would say it on TV. And I really, really was so passionate about like just the media and just wanting to do that. And so I pursued that in school. So I have a degree in communication from Daystar. So that was the path that I was going, right? I knew I was going to leave uni and go into media, do something like that. But I ended up working for a digital agency instead. So out of working with the digital agency, I managed influencers. Actually, a lot of people don't know this, but I've worked in the back end. Before I was the influencer that I am today, I've managed influencers. I've done brand strategy. I've been like in pitches to clients and all of that. So I worked in digital agency. And at the time I had a blog, but then I started to see the other end of, how much the influencers were making and the sort of life I could live. And I was just like, you know what, like, I think I'm going to leave this job and go build my own thing and build my own brand. So I was a fashion blogger. Fashion has always been a thing for me when I was a child. If I wasn't busy reading the newspaper to my mirror to my parents, because I would also do that to them. I'd tell them, sit down, I'm done reading the news for you today. I would be busy cutting up my clothes and trying to make different outfits out of them. I loved like posing in front of the camera and like having my parents like take photos of me. So I really loved fashion. It gave me so much confidence as a child. Like at some point I was just like, okay, no, mom, I'm gonna put my own looks together. Like, you don't need to dress me. I know my thing, right? So it was very natural for me when I decided to go into the content creation space to go in as a fashion blogger. So fashion blogs were a thing back in the day. And at the time, I think there were a couple of people who had gone ahead of us. So the Joy Candies and Sylvia Njoki and Sharon Mundia when she was This Is S, and Nancy Mwai. I think there were like 4 in total at that time. And I was like, you know what? I want to do that as well. So I started my own blog. And for me, it was targeted towards girls my age because those women I've mentioned were a bit older. I was like, I want to target uni girls like me who, when we don't have that much money, but we still want to look good. So that's how I started. And then we've been evolving with the times. This was actually 10 years ago. I started in 2015 when I was in uni, in my second year of uni.
Sharon, that is why for me, I want to have these kinds of conversations because when somebody sees you on social media, they don't see 10 years. Sometimes they just think, oh, she woke up and then this happened and maybe I can also wake up and this happens. But maybe the question there is then, do you think it's important for a person to work under another person, maybe in a company, do the back office work before they are seen here? Or can I just wake up and say, Mimi, I am not a back person. I'm just going to be at the front?
For me personally, my story, the way it's worked, whenever I work in the back first before I go into the front, that has always worked very well for me because it's like a learning experience. That's how I look at it. I'm here to learn. I'm here to see how I can do this thing, and then I go and branch out into my own thing. We'll get into Epiphany later, but even how Epiphany was born is that I collaborated with another brand that was already in the market, was already doing business. So I kind of just like shadowed her and did a collection with her. So I learned everything in the back before I went and now started my own thing, right? It was a lot easier for me to do it that way. So it depends for everyone and what kind of person they are, but I prefer to learn from others and then go and do my own thing. However, I understand that not everyone is in close proximity with the people they want to learn from. So even if you can learn from their YouTubes and their podcasts and books, read their books, like the people who you look up to, read about them, like just do your research on them, see how they're, running their businesses and all of these things. Information, like knowledge, can really make a difference.
I like to hear that. Do you remember your very first blog?
Oh, I haven't thought about that in so long. What was my first blog? I don't remember what exactly I wrote about or the outfit, but I do remember the feeling that I had. I remember being so scared. And, I talk to a lot of people who want to get into the content creation space and they're like, I'm so scared. What will my family think? My friends think? It's cringe. It's this, it's that. Like, I don't want to be perceived. I don't want to be seen. Like, and I get that. But my answer to them is always like, are you going to let cringeness and fear hold you back from like achieving your wildest dreams and being successful? So I had that fear as well. What I'm trying to say is that the fear is not going to go away. You're still going to have to do it even with the fear. So I was so scared and I was so in my mind, and I'm telling myself, will anyone even want to read this blog? Like, will anyone find it interesting? Will they just say, oh, another fashion blogger has just popped up? Because now blogs are popping up at the time, right? And I remember in my first year of having the blog, I was nominated for an award for blogs. There was like a blog association at the time, and it was Bake Kenya, and they had an award where they used to award like best fashion blog, best food blog, best this blog. And I got nominated in my first year, and I was just like, if I let that fear that was in my mind telling me no one cares, no one is gonna read this, I wouldn't be here today. So just push through the fear and do it regardless. So I remember the exact thing, but I remember the feeling and the fear that I had, but doing it anyways. Yeah.
What did your family say?
My family has been very supportive. I'm so grateful to God. Both my parents have always been supportive. Today I wake up and I tell them, guys, I've decided to do this, and they go with me. So even when I quit my job and I told them, yeah, this is what I've decided to do, my dad's first response was like, okay, how can we support you? What do you need from us? Which I'm really, really grateful for, because I know not all parents are like that. So yeah, my family has always been supportive. My friends have always been supportive. They've always cheered me on. But if you don't have friends or family that are supportive, imagine you'll find support in other places.
You will. But you need to look for it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the journey, I think digital content creation has really evolved, because you're thinking blogging, and now we are, I don't even know where we are.
Like on TikTok.
That's where we are. Yeah. How has that journey been for you?
So when I started, everyone was reading blogs. I guess people don't like to read anymore. I don't know what happened. So people stopped reading content. They started watching content. So we moved to YouTube. But YouTube was long format content. Like we used to do now vlogs. Went from blogs to vlogs. Vlogs were, I think, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And it's just you taking us around your day and all of these things. And that was hard for me. I'm not going to lie. Like I'm generally like quiet and reserved and all of these things. I prefer to show snippets here and there, but like taking a camera with me every day for a week and then compiling it into a vlog, I did not like it at all. But I knew people had evolved, and I needed to change with the times. I needed to flow. So yeah, I became a vlogger, and then people stopped watching YouTube as much, other than like when it's a podcast. Now they stopped watching vlogs as much, and now they went into short form content, which is now the Instagram Reels and the TikToks. So when TikTok came up in 2020, I was just like, it's another thing that we have to learn. We have to learn the algorithm. We have to learn what works here, what doesn't work here. It's not the same as Instagram. It's not the same as YouTube. But again, like, I think with any space you're in, you're in a constant state of learning. And ours just happens to be learning digital trends, learning consumer trends, learning all of these things and how different apps work, and creating content suitable for each, while still remaining yourself, obviously. So yeah, we've just had to evolve, and the next app that comes will go.
You will still go there
because
you need to do what you need to do.
Exactly.
And you know that makes me want to ask you, because, and I have had conversations with people who are very, they're celebrities, they're influencers, they're up there on YouTube, they have very many followers. But they tell me that they are introverts. Like you just said, like I like to be quiet, I'm an introvert. But then when we see them out there, they don't look like they're introverts. That tells me there's something deeper than, they are chasing something deeper. It must be a calling, it must be some purpose, it must be some, because if this is an uncomfortable, well, not really uncomfortable, but if this is a place where it's out of your comfort zone and you're there doing it and showing up every day, it must be deeper than that. Is it? Do you believe in calling and purpose?
100%.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
For me, it's like beyond money. Because yes, like this is my livelihood, like this is how I make money, but it's beyond that. In the beginning, when I started, I can't say that I started it being like chasing purpose or chasing a calling or chasing fulfillment. I just, started it out of passion, and this is what I love, and I just want to share it out. But obviously with time, as I've also grown up, I have also evolved. And for me, I recognize that, first of all, it's not easy to just have hundreds of followers and hundreds of people just looking at you and being keen about what you say and what you think and your beliefs and how you say them out and all of these things. So my question has always been like, I ask myself from the understanding that I'm a steward over this thing, right? I didn't just make this happen. Yes, I've worked, I've put in the years, I've put in the work, but there's a favor that is upon me for me to have, this influence and these many followers and all of these people or watching me. So I ask myself, like, when I die and God tells me, okay, I gave you 500,000 followers, what did you do with them? I want to be able to have a good answer for that. So for me, I think my life is just a representation of God in different aspects. And that for me is purposeful. Like, I don't need to be preaching on there. But when you see my life, you see it as, I want to know that God that Sharon serves, or I want to know that God that Sharon talks about. That's what's purposeful for me.
Amen.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about your God and our God. But before I do that, I totally believe in, and I'm really sold out completely to holistic branding. And I have this model that I developed, I think it's 3 years ago, and I call it the 3I brand. And so for me, it doesn't matter whether it's a person or a business. I'm always talking about branding for influence, for impact, and for income. Influence, we can see it. I mean, we see it with you when it's there. We see it on Instagram, on YouTube. You do have followers, and clearly there is something people are following. That's influence. You're a leader. Impact, I want to ask you about impact. But before I ask you about impact, when it comes to income, because you just talked about it, you made this into something that can bring you money. How do you do that? And the reason I'm asking that is because somebody is looking and thinking, I want to be her. I want to be a podcaster because I know there's a lot of money because Sharon looks fantastic.
Yeah.
How do you create sustainable income from what you do, especially digital creation? Yeah.
Actually, all of my income comes from digital creation, which, has its goods and bad things that come out of it. But so when I started, like, digital marketing wasn't big back in the day, but I think a year into me creating content and being a blogger and all of these things, I got my first client deal. And at the time there was no structure. It was just like, okay, do for us 10 reels. But it wasn't even reels. At that time, I think they were IGTVs or just videos. Okay, we want 10 videos, we want one YouTube, we want this, we want that, and we'll pay you like 10K, like 15K. And obviously, like, as a uni student, I'm just like, oh my God, like, yes, of course I'll take it. But then I end up like slaving away because that content was so hard to create. And then with time, as also the industry is going and the market is, people are a lot more open to even like being influenced by creators and not a billboard, we're getting more structure, basically. And I don't even think we're anywhere close. Like, when I see how much influencers abroad, like in the US, in the UK, even in South Africa, how much they earn versus how much we earn, I know there's still so much room for us to grow. So I started off just like that. And then slowly with time, the bigger brands have come, all of these things have come. But the thing I tell a lot of people, because I have consultations, like one-on-ones with people trying to grow in the industry, I always tell them, focus on your content first. The money will come. Your content is basically your CV. This is what is going to tell this brand, if I pay her 50K, she can produce for me this thing. So whether or not it has nothing to do with this brand, when they come to your page is literally your CV. You should be able to sell yourself off of that page. They're like, okay, she has this, people are commenting, people are sharing, people are liking, she has this many views, her content speaks about this, it's packaged well, all of these things. Focus on the content. Like, if you chase the money, you lose sight of everything. Like, focus on just having proper content, just establishing yourself in the space, and the money, trust me, will come. Like,
it comes.
I do not remember the last time I sent a proposal or anything like that. In the beginning, I did a lot of that. I did a lot of relationship building. I did a lot of proposals. I did a lot of that. Now they come, right? Because it's been 10 years of me constantly working on excelling and building my craft and putting myself out there in a certain way. So yeah, they just come, we naturally align, they can see my work, it speaks for itself. So yeah, and I know, I am glad you've asked that, because I think a lot of people have this perception or notion that like, yeah, it's so easy to just like be an influencer and just make money. Like, I just want to be like the Sharons and just make this money. Yeah. Like, yes, some people blow up overnight, especially in the age of TikTok, but even them, they will tell you that they had to put in the work with their content so they can become so that it's sustainable and it's not just like a one-off. She was a one-hit wonder. Like, you got one client and that's it. Yeah.
But after how long does the money come? Like, if you were to tell somebody's watching and thinking, I want to do this, for how long do I have to wait for the money to start coming?
I feel like if you're being so consistent with your content, you're posting as consistently as possible, maybe like 3 times a week, your content is great, you've packaged yourself properly, you know what you're speaking about, your content is not just all over the place, you're tagging the brands that you want to work with, I would say even a year. You can get a brand. I got my first brand after 1 year. And even then I wasn't even as focused and as I was just a uni student posting. Yeah.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Indeed, the money is very important. So I'm very happy you're making money.
Yes.
The question I probably would want to ask you, I know that when people make money, they're very excited, they're very happy for it. But the thing that I know is later in life, if all you do is make money, you feel empty if there's nothing like impact. How do you measure the impact you have created in this industry of digital content creation?
Well, I think for me, I think I started to feel some sort of fulfillment coming in when the podcast started. Not necessarily even when the podcast started, but when we became like a faith-based podcast, which is like over a year ago, that's when I started to feel some fulfillment, because, you know, at that point now, like, I'm getting people sending me messages or commenting, or even people stopping me in public to be like, I gave my life to Christ because of you. You know, like, that's just, I don't really want to get emotional, but that's such a big deal to me. Because I'm just like, you watched one video of mine or 2 videos of mine, or you've interacted with me on socials and you've seen me live my life or talk about Jesus, and you're like, yeah, I want to see what this Jesus guy is about. Like, I want to go to church. Even like, I meet people in church, they're like, yeah, like, you influenced me to come to this church, or you influenced me to go back to church. Like, I've gotten a message of someone telling me, I was watching your podcast and, you know, I told God I'm done running away from him, and I'm going to church tomorrow, and I'm, you know, and I just want to do this thing with God again. I want to give it another chance. Like, that for me is impact. And again, like, I've never stood on a pulpit, I've never preached, I've never done anything like that. Like, I sit, I have conversations like this, where we talk about Christ, and it's maybe even just like on my Insta stories, and I'm just saying, yeah, God, this and this and this, and that's impactful to someone. So I think for me, that's just where I, fulfillment and impact and purpose lies for me as of right now. I know purpose keeps evolving in different seasons, and in different areas, but right now, that's where I'm at.
That's beautiful. Yeah. That's very beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Let's talk about your podcast then, because you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Why are we keeping secrets? What is this thing?
So the name of the podcast actually is not okay. So someone asked me if I want to have a podcast. So now this was in 2021, and podcasts were starting to blow up, right? So I told you, when
something comes,
we evolve, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So someone asked me, oh, Sharon, would you want to have a podcast? I was just like, ew, no, like, why would I want to do that? Everyone is starting a podcast. Why do I want to be like everyone? And she was just like, well, it seems like to be a really great platform. Maybe you should consider it. And I was just like, nah, I don't want to do it. And then the next year in 2022, I just started feeling the urge, the pull, the nudge within my spirit for, okay, you need to have a podcast and you need to talk about Jesus. And I was just like, God, like me, I don't want to do any of that. So out of obedience, I started it, but I wasn't talking about God openly. Like I would sprinkle like a bit of God here, a bit of Jesus here, but like mostly talk about other random things, have, random guests. We just have a good time, right? And then last year, I was just like, okay, God, the vision you placed in my heart was not this. I've been executing this vision so wrong. And God is a co-creator with me for this podcast. Like he's my partner. He's the one I go to ask for ideas. Okay, I'm thinking this. What do you think? So I was just like, okay, you placed this vision in my heart, but me, I've gone and I've run with it and I'm doing my own thing. So fine, let me do what exactly you told me initially to do. So we restructured everything and we're just like, okay, we're faith-based. These are the conversations we're having and this is how we're doing it. And now we've been doing that for 1 year now and I can see the difference. I can really see the difference. For me, it's not about winning awards. It's not about making money. It's not about, having the highest views or the most streams. For me, it's just impact. It's just that one person who, was suicidal and now they're not struggling with that anymore. Someone who was struggling with this and now they're not struggling with it anymore. Someone who, was struggling to trust God and now they're feeling more open. Like for me, it's just like one person, two people who just get something out of it. For me, that's the biggest thing for me. Yeah.
And the people you invite on as guests, are they Christians?
They are Christian,
or are they,
yeah.
And are they people who maybe have a story? How
yes.
do you?
So now we have believers, people with stories, yes, but mostly we pick topics and then we discuss those topics. We read scripture, we do all of that. It's like a Bible study with us, right? So we talk about our own personal experiences. Like, for example, let's say like I'm struggling with faith, right? So we talk about faith, we talk about all of that. But it's not just the usual Christian things you hear. Like we talk about so many different things. We talk about money, we talk about relationships, marriage, children, parenting, like literally everything that affects a normal person day to day. We talk about it, but with scripture as our anchor and Jesus as our anchor. So that's how the podcast runs.
And I've watched quite a number of your episodes, and I've been built. Let's
amazing.
say I have been built. So keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, has it been risky for you to maybe introduce faith into what you do? And the reason I ask that is, I got born again at the age of 12 myself. Yeah, I'm a pastor's kid. And it was Bible and praying, and it was beautiful. But when I started working, especially when I became a corporate trainer, for some reason, those first years, I didn't feel it didn't even come up. Let me not say not comfortable. It didn't come up that I would talk about God in the corporate spaces.
Yeah.
So for me, it came with age. It came with age, maybe, and also it came with me talking about branding and being authentic. And now it doesn't matter where I am. Even if I am in front of people who are of a different religion, I will always like throw a verse in there. Sometimes just tell them, oh, I am a Christian, this is what I believe. So it's not a struggle. But when I was starting, I know it was not something that I was very open about. Why? Because it's probably risky. Maybe people are going to think you're a bit churchy and don't come and train us on governance if you're churchy. You are young. I said for me, I think it came with age, maturity. You are still very young. And I can just imagine how that would be for you. Have you found it risky to mix faith with what you do? Probably talk about it. Did you lose some people along the way because, hey, now she's talking about this. We're not boarding clients, partners, whatever. I want to hear that.
Definitely. I think it's just part of the process. I did feel that hesitation as well. To just be like, oh, do I really want to like be this person, talk about God like this? But that's who I am behind closed doors. So if I'm going to be authentic, then I will show up as who I am behind closed doors and who I am on Instagram. There shouldn't be such a large disparity, right? So obviously there's some things like I won't share online because the internet is still the internet, but like the disparity is not that big. So I did have that, like, what will people think of me, how will people perceive me? Like, it's not cool to be a Christian, let's just like say, right? Like, no one is just like, oh, it's so cool to just talk about Jesus. No, like, people don't find that cool, especially like my age, right? It's just like, that's not the vibe, right? So I did have that hesitation. But my thing has always just been like, okay, Jesus has and will never be embarrassed about me. So I am not about to be embarrassed about him either. It's definitely hard, easier said than done. I do have moments where I'm just like, okay, don't really talk about that. But, I still end up doing it. And there's a scripture that says that, like, if you deny Jesus on earth, he will deny you in heaven. And I'm just like, okay, God, sorry, I'm not about to deny you. But I did have hesitation. I have lost brands. Obviously, like, brands that don't align to my lifestyle and my values, I have lost them. I've lost big bags, good amounts of money where they're just like, okay, you don't have to really use the product, don't really have to do, I don't want to say the brand, right? And I'm just like, no, I just can't, like, I just can't push that. I can't post that. Like, I just cannot do it. So yes, and surprisingly, to many people's surprise, I have also gained brands because of it. They're like, oh, we love that you speak about this. We love that your values are very, very like family, clean. You know what I mean? Like, we love that about you. So, but again, it's just like, even with Jesus, I have a personality, right? I'm still Sharon. I don't talk about him all the time. He's still a part of my life, a big part of my life. But like, when I'm cooking and I'm doing cooking content, I'm not talking about Jesus. Like, when I'm doing skincare,
You won't throw in a verse that talks about he is the bread of life.
No, when I'm doing skincare, I'm not there like, Jesus is, no, you know what I
take the
mean?
wheel.
Yeah, I can still do my skincare content, my hair content, my cooking, my traveling, my all of these things. I can, he's nowhere to be mentioned because I still have a personality. Even with Jesus, I still have a personality. So I'm still able to get the brands. Have I lost people? I have lost like the people I used to party with and drink with and all of that now, because like I don't want to do that anymore. But just by the grace of God, I still have majority of my friends, and they're evolving with me, they're learning with me, we're kind of doing this thing together, and they're always so proud of me. They're always like, oh, we're so proud about like how you talk about him and all of these things. So just by the grace of God, because I know people usually like lose a lot of people on the way.
And I want to ask you about what you just said, the company you keep, your friendships, and how it affects your work. But before I go there, Christian to Christian, Christian sister to sister, do you think that this bit of celebrities, because you are a celebrity, or influencers, people who like are powerful, people we know, people who are famous. Do you think that becoming a Christian and giving your life to Jesus has become trendy? It's become like it's the next thing. Like after you do this, now when you become a Christian, now you're. And I want it to be trendy. I want Jesus to be cool because I want it to be. I want everybody to go to heaven. But do you think it's become like that's the next thing I'm gonna do now?
Yeah, I actually did a podcast episode about this because I noticed, especially like on TikTok, it became like, it's aesthetic to be like a Christian girly, and you wake up at 4 and you read your Bible and you highlight it with your coffee and you post it, and then you go to the gym, you do Pilates, and like I have noticed it like coming up. And like, I've had the people, they try to like use the whole Christianity to clean up their image and all of these things. And I'm just like, that's actually kind of what Jesus does, right? Like, that's what he does. Like, he makes us anew and all of that. So, but I think it's just like, we'll know them by their fruit, right? So if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, and if you're doing it for whatever reasons you're doing it, your fruit will show. But like, if you've actually fully surrendered your heart to Christ, and even if you're still messing up here and there and you're still doing whatever you're doing, your fruit will show. So, and again, when the real test is actually like in heaven, like that's when we'll see who was actually like using it for clout and who was actually like fully believing. But then again, like, I'm here for it. Like, I mean,
let's make it trendy.
Yeah.
Let's make it cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so to the question of the company you keep, I mean, digital content creation, the podcast, and Epiphany, the clothing line. What is the role of the kinds of friends you keep and company?
Yeah. I love that question. I don't know if people ask me about my friends often. I don't know. But yeah, my friends are honestly like my sisters. I keep saying that God didn't give me a sister, but he gave me friends that feel like sisters. I have a brother only. Okay, I still love my brother, but I always wanted a sister. So my friends are actually like, they feel like family to me. They feel like my sisters. For my brand, for my clothing brand Epiphany, I think my friends, and I've never asked any of them to buy anything. I've never asked them to support me. They just do it because like they like the clothes. They want to wear the clothes. And they like the style. My first ever thing that I sold to a friend. That same friend is also, she models for us. She's modeled for us from day one. I've never paid her a single cent. She just, really loves the brand and obviously loves me and wants to support me. Same with my podcast, same with my content. Like, my friends are such big cheerleaders. They hold me down. They pray for me. So yeah, definitely the influence that I keep, I learn from them. They learn from me, and we're all like, headed to the same direction. Like, we're all building different things in our own different industries. Like, I have such multifaceted friends. Like, I have friends that are lawyers, that are teachers, that, work in corporate, others who, are entrepreneurs. So we're all building towards something, and we're all like headed towards the same direction. So yeah, I'm really grateful for them.
That's a blessing.
Yeah.
That's a huge blessing, because sometimes you hear other kinds of stories.
Yeah.
But your clothes are for who? What kind of clothes are you doing?
Yeah. So again, when I started, I didn't really know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I don't know if I had a strategy. I think I did, but the strategy has evolved with time. So now what we aim to do is make women feel as feminine as possible in our clothes. So when you come to Epiphany, you're getting the girliest thing, the cutest little thing that you can wear to like brunch or a wedding or on a date. And, you'll just feel so feminine, so girly, so cute. You won't find anything like Boss Babe or like, you won't find any of that with us. Yeah. But like, I've seen people even get like engaged wearing our clothes and celebrating their birthdays and all of these things. Like, we are that brand, right? Like, we're there to celebrate like your special occasions with you, while making you just feel like the most feminine woman possible. So that's what Epiphany is. We've only just figured out that like very recently. But yeah, and actually our audience has helped us figure that out, because we're always getting feedback for, I feel so cute, I feel so beautiful, I feel so feminine, I feel so girly. We never get the, I feel powerful, I feel confident, I feel, so we realized, okay, we're not that brand, and that's great. but we're just not. That's not what we offer you.
How did you feel when you saw the very first person rock your outfit, like on social media, and just how was that feeling?
I think till today, it's still very much like, oh, you're wearing something I made, like something that I thought of in my mind, and we sketched it out. We bought the fabric and we made it, and you're now wearing it, and you're just walking around. Like, it's such an amazing feeling, because like at the core of who I am, I'm a creative. Like, I like to create, not creative. Like, I like to create things, right? So to think that this was once a thought in my mind that's now been actualized like this, and you're wearing it out. Like, for some people, it's just a piece of clothing. For me, it's like, it's a creation, like something from my mind to this.
So are you telling me, Sharon, because I wasn't sure about that, are you telling me that you did sketch the thing? And you make it, or your team makes it?
I have a team that does it. I have a team that does it.
But it's made here.
It's
That's
made
what I mean.
in Kenya. Yes, it's fully made in Kenya. All the tailors are just local tailors. We get our fabric sourced locally as well, like 100% made in Kenya. These are just, again, like thoughts, ideas in my mind.
Beautiful.
Where I just
what's your role? What's your part? Is it the sketching bit?
No, so I have, because I didn't go to fashion school, right? So I can't sketch. I don't know the technical stuff when it comes to fashion. So I have someone who did go to fashion school. This is her expertise. So I sit down with her and I tell her, I want to make a dress that looks like this, this, and this. And then she's able to translate it into drawing. And then I tell her, okay, so the sleeve change to this, the hand change to this, the length change to this. And then we make a sample. So I wear
the magazines you used to read when you were young.
Exactly. So we make the sample, I wear it out, I see how I like it. I think I try to think about all women. Like, if I have a bigger bust, a smaller bust, if I have hips, like, how will that? We try to be as accommodative as possible. And then now we go ahead and the tailors, sit and they make it, and then we release it to everyone.
I love fashion. So you can see even my eyes. I love fashion.
I can
so I'm thinking, do you make one piece of everything, or how do you do that? Because the thing with me, I'm like, can I just get one piece that I will not see a lot of people with? How do you do that one?
So we're not fast fashion, so you won't see everyone wearing our pieces.
And fast fashion is like
fast fashion is like
Tata,
like Shein.
Shein, yes.
Like a Shein or a Pretty Little Thing, or like mass production, right? So we don't mass produce. We're very much like, also we're trying to be sustainable to the environment. We don't want to damage the earth. So we produce very limited quantities, and it's specific for a reason. So with us, if you don't get it, you don't get it. And we also don't want to restock many times, because we don't want you and a million other peoples to have the same dress. Like, we still want that like specialness to be there, right? Like the novelty of this thing to still remain.
What if I come with my own specialness? I say, this is what I want. You guys just create this one for me. Do you do that?
No, so we don't do custom orders or custom designs. Just because we can, but we just prefer to do our own
your own designs,
because we know what the brand, because you might bring us a design that doesn't match with like our brand alignment and our style.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. I love your dress as well.
Thank you very much. I'm definitely gonna check out. I'm gonna check out what I can get from you. But maybe the question would be, for what age of women? Because it is women who want to feel girly. But is it what age group?
So from our audience, what we can tell, like, a lot of them are late 20s, early 30s, not Gen Z for sure. We can't see any Gen Z in our stats or anything, but we know from like 25 and above all the way to like 35. Like,
so
that's
40 will go to Vivo. You're telling us you 40 just go to Vivo.
I don't know, like, I don't know. I mean, we're happy to accommodate anyone, but
so 20s and 30s. That's beautiful. How is it running a business in Kenya as a young woman, Sharon? Because somebody is watching and thinking, I want it so bad. But how?
Very hard.
Tell me more.
It's very hard.
What's the hardest part?
no one teaches you how to be an entrepreneur, right? You don't go to school for it. Like, it's not, maybe the people who did business in high school, I don't know if that helped. I didn't do business in high school. I did something else. I don't know if that's helpful. But it's kind of those things where you're just like, it's a guessing game. You're trying to learn. You're trying to like learn from other people, see what other people are doing. Testing, it fails, you try this, it fails, this one works, okay, so this one worked, let's do it again. Putting structures in place, trying to like make sure like your finances are in check, trying to make sure you're also producing items and you're not forgotten, because like the fashion space is like that. Like, if you don't give me, I'll go get from someone else. Like the pool, we're growing, right, in terms of like the fashion industry in Kenya. So there's more options now. So it's very hard. I've done courses, I've read books, I've listened to podcasts. Like, even now, I still feel like I don't have enough knowledge. I don't have enough information. I've shadowed people. I've watched other people. I've tried to learn from other people. But it's just like, you kind of just have to, when you're in it, that's where the real learning is.
Yeah.
But it's not impossible. I mean, we see the Wandia Gishurus and the Christian jockeys and all of these people doing amazing things in the industry. So yeah, it's definitely possible. If they can do it, so can we. And we're all headed that way.
Yeah. What's the place of mentorship when you're running a business? Do you say get a mentor?
If you can, get a mentor for sure. I didn't have a mentor, but when I started, I think I alluded to this earlier. When I started, I had a friend who we went to uni with, but she had been doing, when I started as a blogger, she started her fashion business. So you can also tell, like, she was my age, very young, but very like, I know what I want, right? So she started a business at the same time. So we agreed to collaborate, and I would bring in like my digital marketing skills, and she would bring in the fashion, right? So we created this is Zia Africa, for those who are wondering. So we created a line together, like a collection together. So because of her, I was able to learn like the behind the scenes of a fashion brand. We went fabric shopping together. We did the designs together. We went to do production together. We did everything together, right? So and she had a lot more years of experience than I did. So I learned so much from that experience. And now because of her, I was able to go and now just like start my own thing, right? Because I was able to learn from her and learn from that experience that I had with her. So yeah, if there's someone you can learn from, a mentor, a colleague, or just someone that you can be able to learn from, I would say definitely do it.
Go and learn from them.
Yeah.
Again, I have conversations with people who are doing digital content creation and podcasting and even everything else you're doing. And I see they're starting like a side business here and there. And most of the time they'll start a side business because there's not enough revenue. What is your belief on focus on one thing? Just focus on one thing. Don't be all over the place.
I think I'm like in between, where I do think diversified income is great. The more sources of income you have, the better, right? But I think there's also a beauty in like you do one thing, you put your all in it, you get really good at it, and then now you use that income to go and create other things. That's the model I have taken, right? So content creation was like my main thing, done it for 10 years. It's made me money, and through that money, I'm now able to go and do other things, right? Because even the capital that I used to start my business was from content creation. Like I said, saved up some money. I didn't have to ask for a loan or any of these things. I used that money to go and now diversify my income. But I do get the whole thing for there's not enough money coming in. There's not enough opportunities coming your way. And I've also always had that fear for, okay, so now what if Instagram shuts down today? Like, where do I go? Where do I start? So I do think there's a place for don't put all of your eggs in one basket.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So, and you mentor people. Yeah, you talked about it, but also a little birdie had told me that you actually do mentor people who are into digital content creation. So if you were to, I don't know what you tell them, but maybe just share with us. If you were to share with them one truth that maybe you wish you knew, or one truth you would wish they know about digital content creation, especially here in Kenya, what would you say that is?
Oh gosh, I have so many. So for me, I think I would say, so I don't do mentorships, but I have consultations, right? So people pay and they come and we sit, and it's like more of like a brainstorm. So you come and you tell me, this is my page, or this is what I have, how can I do better? And we look through your page, we'll figure things out together. I'll give you like a blueprint or some sort of plan for you to go and execute. So what I usually tell people is find out your why. Like, why are you doing this? A lot of people come to me and they say they want to make money. And I'm like, okay, cool. Money can be made, but what does this money do for you? So let's say you're a 9-to-5 girl and you just want to have something for yourself. You don't want to build someone else's brand, someone else's thing. You want to have your own thing. So, okay, I want to create content on the side. So that's your why. Your why is not that you're making money. Your why is that you have something for yourself. Your why is that I'm able to have more time. I'm able to do something for myself. Like, that's your why. Your why cannot be money, because money comes and goes. And if you go in there for money, you'll be frustrated because money doesn't come as quickly and it doesn't stay as consistently as people think that it stays. So if your why is money, figure out the behind the money. If your why is not even money, your why is just like, I'm actually not here to make money. I'm here to tell people about motherhood. I'm here to tell people about mental health. I'm here to inspire people to take their health more seriously. So I do fitness content. I'm here because I'm divorced and I want to share more about that because no one talks about it. That's your why. That's your driving factor. So I think I would say, come up with your why very clearly and then now go and create. Yeah.
Let's talk about burnout as we come to
Oh my God.
the close of this conversation, because I know sometimes you're doing and doing and doing today. And I'm telling you, I've actually had a friend who had it was back to back, like 3 years ago, back to back. And the next time he was in the hospital and he was there for like a week.
Yeah.
And he told me that all the money he had made since the beginning of that year with back to back, he spent it in the hospital because it was like too much.
Yeah.
Let's talk about burnout.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you deal with that? And when do you know to say,
yeah,
and maybe even just combine it with work-life balance.
Yeah.
If there is anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so burnout is definitely a thing I understand. And, by the grace of God, I haven't gotten, as burnt out as that to the point of being in the hospital. But I have been feeling, honestly, like I've done this for 10 years. I've been working since I was in uni. I've just been saying, okay, God, I just want to take like even just like 3 months, like even just a month where I don't even know what's up. Like, I don't even have Instagram on my phone. I don't even have TikTok. I don't even know what's going on. Like, just fully mentally unplugged. And I am putting money aside towards that. So if I disappear from the internet soon,
just so you know.
Just know I'm just taking a little hiatus, a little break. But I think I like what you've said about work-life balance. That's where I'm trying to lean towards. I don't work weekends. I'm very strict about that. Like, I'm just like, don't tell me anything. Let's meet on Monday. Like past a certain time, I'm just like, no, we can do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is still there and I can do it tomorrow. That's what's going to happen. And someone was telling me it's more not even really work-life balance, but when I'm here, I'm here.
Being present.
While I'm at work, I'm present. When I'm at home, I don't carry my work to home. When I'm at home, when I'm with my friends, I'm not thinking of work. I'm with my friends, we're hanging out, we're having fun. When I'm with my family, same thing. When I'm at work, I give work everything that I can give it. So that's what I'm also trying
That's
to
important.
do, because it's mostly mental. Like, I feel like burnout is not always physical. For me, it's like the mental is the thinking of new ideas, thinking of a new strategy, thinking of how to execute this. Oh, I need to post that. I need to think of a new idea I need to shoot for this client. Like, it's the mental stuff. So I try to just switch off my brain ever so often. And when I'm not at work, my brain is not at work either. And that's it. And I even tell people my brain is not working right now.
No,
like
it's not.
it's not on. Yeah, let's just chat. Yeah.
Is it risky for you to take like a 3-month break, 6 months, and then
Come back?
with the world shut? Like, is it risky? Is that a fear?
Definitely risky, but I'm willing
What
to
if you
take
come
it.
back and we don't know who this person was anymore?
Yeah, it's definitely a risk, and it's definitely like, okay, will people forget me and all of that? But no, I'm willing to take.
Sharon
I'm
has
willing
to
to take the risk. Yeah, and like I've taken like a 6-week break before, and I came back and everything was fine. So we'll push it longer this time around and see how long I can take. Yeah.
So
how do you deal? Sorry, no. Before you go, I just wanted to ask, how do you deal with work-life balance and the burnout thing? I'm trying to learn because I don't know if I'm good at it.
So I like to look at it as work-life integration and harmony rather than balance, because they cannot balance 50-50.
Yeah.
But I'm going to come, because that's a secret, I'm going to come to your secret podcast. And I'm going to be on that side, and you can ask me everything about it. But really, I don't believe that you can have a balance, a scale that balances. I am a married woman and I have children. And sometimes my work requires 80%, and I can only give my children 20%. Sometimes my children take 100%, and I have to say to work, see you next month. And I do that a lot.
Okay, that's good.
Like I usually take like a month and a half off during summer, and I disappear. And people ask me, do you live in Kenya? Yes, I live in Kenya, but I disappear and just shut off completely. But I will tell you more when I come to the secret podcast.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Was that helpful though?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Good. So there is a woman watching you, a young woman, maybe an older woman, and she really wants to start her own business.
Yeah.
And you have run Epiphany for how long?
4 years.
4 years, but together with the podcast and together with digital content creation, because that is entrepreneurship. That's a total of 10 years. So you do have a lot of experience, you know, and you can help another person. What are probably the 3 things you would tell this person that, A, if you want to do business in Kenya and you want to thrive, I want you to know 1, 2, 3. And that's your camera. If you don't mind, you can think about it and then just talk to that person.
Okay. Some of them are things I've already said before. But 1, gather as much information, knowledge, insight, wisdom that you can before going in. Or even if you're already in it, if you could do a course, if you could be mentored, if you could read a book, you know, listen to some podcasts, do whatever you can, because knowledge is power, and knowledge is going to empower you to go and make your business more successful than it is. Another thing is application, right? I think a lot of people have a lot of knowledge, and there's this term called like spiritual obesity, but so I can apply it in the other way to say knowledge obesity, where you're full with knowledge and information and insight, but you're not applying anything that you know. So it's one thing to know something, it's another thing to apply. So once you've gone and you've learned and you've done all of these things, apply it in your business, apply it in whatever it is that you're doing, and see how it works. Some of it will work, some of it will not work, and that's fine. What would I say the last one is? This one is for the content creation bit of it. It's okay to be perceived, right? A lot of people fear being perceived a certain way, fear being seen, fear being put out there. It's okay. And not everyone will like you. You won't be always everyone's cup of tea. This also applies in business. But when you find your people, and you'll be on your way to success. So yeah, I think that's what I would say.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy this conversation?
I did. It's so nice to be on this other side and just be asked questions and to just show up and talk and not have to like strategize and think about what will I ask. Well, yeah,
I
it's
enjoyed
so
this
nice. Thank you so
conversation.
much for having
You are
me.
welcome.
Yeah, I feel like you have like this, like you exude like some grace, and even the way you ask the questions and the intent in which you listen and all of that, like that's so nice. So thank you so much. You've made me feel safe enough to share and say everything that I've said.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you the last question.
Okay.
Do you want to close your eyes?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Now, Sharon K Mwangi, you are 80 years old now. Your hair is gray. You're probably walking with a stick because, I mean, these feet, they cannot move you any longer. You have grandchildren. And one is saying, sure, they wrote about you. They wrote an article about you. What would you like for that article to say about what you did and how you contributed? And you can open your eyes.
Oh, that's such a beautiful question. I was just thinking about my gray hair.
Yeah.
And how I'd look. So what would I want them to say about me? I don't know if it has. I know what I don't want it to say. Like I don't know if it has anything to do with how much money I made, or how many bags, how many clothes. I mean, those things are great. I like bags. I like shoes. But I think for me, it would be more just about how much I was able to give back to society. Like just whether it's financially, whether it's just information, whether it's just me, just how much I could have given of myself. And myself, includes the financial or the knowledge or all of this. Like that's what I would want for it to say. Yeah.
Amen. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. That's such a beautiful question. I think I need to even reflect some more about it. Yeah.
Well, this has been Beyond the Brand, Moments That Made Us with me, Hannah G. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.